Let me ask you, are you someone who waits for the right time to do something? Are you someone who makes the time right on his or her terms? Do you know the difference between the two? Something to think about. The truth is, knowing the difference and honestly knowing which of the two you are can make or break how successful you are in the entertainment industry and in life. Understanding self-discipline becomes a lifestyle and is crucial for success. I'm going to share with you how I brought together my life and work experiences as part of building a success strategy built entirely on the foundations of self-discipline. I'm going to share with you the 18 things I had to be mindful of and how I brought together my life and work experiences as part of building a success strategy built entirely on the foundations of self-discipline. And for aspiring content creators and filmmakers joining the ranks of the new Hollywood generation, this directly applies to you. All of that and more coming up. Welcome to Hollywood Unapologetic. My name is Orlando Delbert. I wanted to speak a little bit about filmmaking essentials. Developing a self-disciplined lifestyle will fundamentally add value to your career and your life, and how it applies to the new Hollywood generation. I should mention before we get into it, I first wrote about some of what we're about to touch upon, success in filmmaking in life and how it applies to the new Hollywood generation when I was writing Pollyanna's Tear-Soaked Battlefields of Hollywood, Survival Guide Against the Cynicism and the Hypocritical. We want to know your questions, comments, and idea suggestions you may have. Please write them below. Leave a thumbs up if you like what you see. Make sure to click on the subscribe button. Click that bell so you don't miss anything. Be sure to check out the videos in the playlist. New to film production? Start here. Be sure to watch all the way through. We're going to speak about a lot of things as part of being best prepared. Remember, preparation is the key to you and your project's success. Something I've spoken about for many years is to add value to your life, you have to have discipline. You have to develop discipline to have a good quality of life. It's an ongoing thing. A shift in your thinking helps shift your life in a positive direction. It becomes a lifestyle. It becomes your lifestyle. Many of you have heard me say over and over again, and I have strongly believed that you and I can do whatever we put our minds and hearts to, but we have to be clear on what that goal is. And to achieve that goal, and even to develop clarity of what that goal may be, requires discipline. Every single successful person, truly successful person, has developed self-discipline. To have self-discipline requires a willingness to have your life on a schedule. This is crucial to be able to deliver on commitments and promises. You meet your deadlines, you become reliable, you become dependable. Without being able to be on a schedule and to deliver with consistency, others won't see you as an asset or having value. You and I cannot afford to have others take control of our lives. And for almost every single person in the entertainment industry, we are in the service business. Much of what we do, what we create, is in the service of others. With that said, we have to develop the willingness to take control of our lives and not to let others take control of our emotions as part of his or her power play. And in this industry, this is a constant battle. Expect to get your hands dirty. But here's the thing. Are you the type of person who waits for the right time to do something? Or the kind of person who decides to go do something to make the time right on your terms? Give that some thought. There are two types of people in this world. First, who thinks about how they see his or her life, has dreams and ambitions, and may want something more or something better, but they wait for the right time to take a chance. The second type also thinks about how they see his or her life, has dreams and ambitions, and decides a course of action that will move things in a different direction, move towards a goal, and in doing so, a list of actionable steps need to be decided upon and followed through. Which one are you? It's okay. Be honest with yourself, because success is defined by having the quality of life you want, not by a predetermined time frame or set of circumstances decided by someone else. It's determined by having a balanced life and everything that can come from it. Health, family, love. Success is also far more than just having some money in your pocket and a nice car. Success for most is having a balanced life. I want you to really give that some thought. You define your own parameters for success, not anyone else. And here's a secret. For many of us, myself included, what our goals may have been when we first started on our journey are considerably different when we arrive. It's about adapting and the ability to keep pushing forward. And it's in this willingness to adapt and to keep pushing forward is built with having self-discipline. There's just no other way around it. Does my speaking about adding value to your life by having self-discipline make sense? Does developing self-discipline and having a willingness to have your life on a schedule, to have a good quality of life make sense? Do you understand it becomes a lifestyle your lifestyle? Do you understand the difference between someone who waits for the right time to do something and someone who makes the time right on his or her terms? If it does, write hashtag New Hollywood Generation in the comments below. That's hashtag New Hollywood Generation. Before I moved to Los Angeles, I researched every production house, post-production facility, television station, network, and motion picture studio that I thought my talents would benefit them and me. I made lists, I saved names, I saved phone numbers and email addresses. I created an extensive database as part of my plan to breaking in. And that's another thing right there. I get asked all of the time, how could I break into Hollywood? The only way to honestly answer that is based entirely on what do you want to do? This is an important question you need to have an answer for early on as part of your success strategy, and something I speak about a lot throughout the series. For me, my strongest skill set was motion graphics, building full animated graphics packages for television, and the creation and maintenance of close-to-air branding and graphic support. I made sure I went to school and sat in the labs from when they were open until I was kicked out at closing time. I learned as much about the technology and how computers worked and how computers interact with one another as part of a digital workflow. I took my early logistical training in music production and added them to learning to all aspects of film and television development and pre-production. I took my experience in concert and theatrical lighting for live theater and music, as well as my time as a studio musician and in live sound reinforcement, and applied them to all aspects of film and television production and post-production. I learned as much as I could about contracts and deal memos, negative pickup deals, matching funds and financing. I even went as far as learning as much as I could about the business practices of unscrupulous distributors to understand how the decisions are made and, more importantly, the whys. All of this to learn all I can about film and television distribution. I learned the whys and psychology of design and how to best apply them. Color theory, balance, shot composition and framing. I learned about the psychology of camera movements and lighting. I even learned as much as I could about motion picture history and what was going on sociologically at the time and how those events shaped the populace. And this process in itself started even earlier for me when I studied music and how world events were shaping the arts throughout Europe hundreds of years ago. I pursued all of these things and much more with an analytical and scientific approach. And it all started with making a plan years before I drove out to Los Angeles and going for it. But it took a large amount of self-discipline. And something I should mention is that no matter what, make yourself indispensable. Know your worth. Demand your worth. You have to accept situations as they unfold and are presented to you, but strive to be an asset. Strive to be of value. Be the hero. The entertainment industry is littered with sharks in suits and chicken heads on the prowl, all looking for those they can take advantage of. They look for the naive and inexperienced to step on. They look for those lacking self-discipline. They steal the livelihoods of everyone they possibly can through intimidation and control tactics. They kill off opportunities for you to make money. They see you as any type of threat instead of an asset. And this last one, it's quite common in Los Angeles in particular. In the end, they put out the fires behind the dreams of so many. This one simple fact alone is reason enough why you need to develop self-discipline. I cannot stress enough how important it is to finding your balance while you are developing your self-discipline. This should be an exclusive part of your success strategy. A conversation I had recently with an ex-girlfriend of mine reminded me of how scattered I was for the first few years of my time in Los Angeles. Even though I had an extraordinary amount of self-discipline, my energies were divided up amongst my own projects, looking for freelance projects, looking for steady income, and of course how to diversify the many projects I had all going on at once in the hopes to have a successful career and having a positive revenue stream lasting me well into retirement. Due to the nature of the entertainment industry as a whole, and especially its dysfunctional nature in Los Angeles, for many, myself included, we have to be on the constant lookout for positive opportunities to move our projects and careers forward. She reminded me of a party we attended. While some of her friends performed on stage, some of her other friends commented how rude I was that I was in the back of the room on the phone for most of the performance. That then reminded me of when I met the woman I dated after her, which was at another party years later, and for most of it, I was pacing around the pool working on a distribution deal as a finder for close to 250 motion picture projects. Typing this reminded me of while I was working out contract and distribution logistics with the film distributor. During this time, I often found myself in the pool holding my old phone pressed against my head like some stereotypical leather-skinned Hollywood producer we see in the movies about breaking into Hollywood. Oh, how cliche of me. But in our process of developing self-discipline, we must find some balance. Without it, it's impossible to be successful and to hold on to those successes for any period of time. Any success strategy must account for self-discipline and an allotted time for a balanced life. Whether that means you take the time to go lift at a gym, do yoga in the morning in your living room, meditate, hike, or go for an evening walk around your block, it has to be something that detaches you from your daily grind and replenishes who you are. It's really that simple. For me, I have to do what I can to get in the gym, although I have to admit, having a brain injury has made life more difficult. I cannot stress how much it has helped me fight off depression. And since the heart attack, that's been a constant battle. But for many of you trying to succeed anywhere in the entertainment industry, in Los Angeles, New York, where you live right now, depression will show its ugly head. Thanks to the daily grind and circumventing the pressures and pitfalls we must all go through, it can build up. And this is true for anyone in any field. And having a workout regimen in itself requires self-discipline. To stay consistent and on a schedule requires self-discipline. I carry a hardcover notebook where I write down what I did that day. I also have on my iPhone daily exercise pre-planned with images because I have a difficult time remembering proper movements in the ideal order that works for me. That helps me stay on track, stay focused, which in turn helps me be balanced and solidify my journey of self-discipline. Physical activity is intertwined with my self-discipline. Another reason why it's important to develop self-discipline as a creative, our emotions are embedded in what we produce. We fall in love with our work because some of whom we are is represented in it. But if we choose to make a living by using our talent, we have to accept going in, we are in the service business. We all have to learn how to make and accept compromises. You have to remember you are being hired to perform something for a paying client. That is something you can never lose sight of. And for some, it's a really tough thing to do. We have to learn to disconnect some of the emotional connection with the work because in many cases, the client will criticize it, want to change it. Sometimes they're not nice about your work and sometimes will step on it. To preserve your sanity, you have to remember that it's okay. Having self-discipline and holding on to a balanced life will be essential to keeping your sanity. Give it a shot and just go for it. In an industry where tens of millions of dollars are spent on developing programming and tentpole productions, a very high percentage of them fail. Many people within the industry, despite their work history, experience hardships and failed projects, and to some degree that's expected when you consider the volume of projects floating around town at any given time. But when all that him or her has experienced is failure, it's easy to develop a negative expectancy to the work you produce, and this eventually will trickle down to his or her personal life. You just have to take a step back, shake it off, and begin again. Hollywood doesn't award too often something fresh and new. It's far safer for the studios and networks to reboot something that may have worked decades before because the financial risk is easier to justify. It's an easier sell to potential sponsors and investors, and in some cases even turn a profit before a single frame is even shot. Shake off the negativity, take a breath, and keep moving forward. You have to claim your I have to be in it to win it attitude and truly believe you're going to succeed. Which leads me to, succeeding in any area of the entertainment industry most often depends on your perseverance, flexibility, endurance, and will. You can have all of the talent in the world and not get ahead because you lack consistency in these four strengths. And without any doubt, are essential for building self-discipline. Whether you're working with a tight deadline, new technology, a weak manager, a hangover, any of the countless possible things Murphy's Law can shovel at you, how you adapt and overcome can either make you or break you. Having a good attitude and a willingness to be flexible and to let go of things that don't matter will help you recover from any blows that you may get from the negativity mongers out there. Let's slide what truly doesn't matter and keep moving forward. And having self-discipline helps keep all that stuff that truly doesn't matter in check and keep you moving forward. Believe it. Another reason why developing self-discipline is important is you and I have to pay our dues over and over again. This is something a lot of people don't want to acknowledge nor even accept. Having a negative mindset makes it easier for others to have a negative influence on you and feed into the high amount of negativity we see today throughout our industry and in the world. And in saying this, I have a challenge for you. My challenge to you is I want you to look at where you are in your life today, right now. Think about where would you like to see yourself in a year, 5 years, 10, and ask yourself, am I someone who will make the time right on my own terms? Am I willing to do what it takes to develop the tools needed to get me closer to my dreams? Will I make a success strategy built upon the importance of having self-discipline? Am I willing to make that part of a lifestyle, my lifestyle? I want you to ask yourself, are you doing what you can to practice self-discipline? Are you doing all that you can to have self-discipline in your life? Are you doing all of the things you need to do to bring your life one step closer towards your goals? Or are you waiting for the right time for things to be perfect before you make your move? Every member of the new Hollywood generation, this means you too, has at some point had doubts or were fearful to take a chance at pursuing his or her dreams. You know what? Those of us who have been successful just went for it and wouldn't stop pushing forward. Set a goal, make a plan, and just do it. One more thing. As part of the new Hollywood generation, others just like you are asking the same questions of themselves. You are not alone. We're all in it together. If you enjoyed the content, please subscribe and click on the bell to know when we have more for you. And more episodes are coming. Please share with someone you know who may find what we spoke about today beneficial. Like if you like what you see, dislike if you don't, and let us hear from you. Are you going to use what we discussed today? Yes or no? Let us know in the comments below. Please consider what I offered you today and consider what your role is as a new generation of content creators. And feel free to take advantage of other members in the new Hollywood generation community. We're all here to grow together and to help one another. And you know what? If there is a subject you want to know more about or just want to say hi, please do. These videos are designed to not only offer information to those who want to succeed in the entertainment space, but also fostering a community of new content creators of a new generation, the new Hollywood generation. We have a strong group on Twitter. Come join the new Hollywood generation and meet some fellow filmmakers and content creators. As members of the new Hollywood generation, take the time to assess what your short-term and long-term goals are. Make a plan, take a breath, go for it. You can do it once you believe you can. Are you ready for the challenge? If you're looking for filmmaking for beginners, Filmmaking 101, and for some filmmaking tips on how to want to be a filmmaker, make sure to click on the subscribe button. Click that bell so you don't miss anything. Looking for how-to filmmaking essentials? Be sure to check out the videos in the playlist. New to film production? Start here. Think of this channel as a film crash course, filmmaking crash course, and an introduction to filmmaking entrepreneurship to build the skills needed well beyond just how to succeed Hollywood and beyond whatever discussions other how-to film school, how-to indie filmmaking in general, how-to film industry channels just don't talk about. The whys you truly need to know to help you grow as a thought leader in life, the entertainment industry, and how it applies as part of the new Hollywood generation is in this video series and in the Pollyanna's tear-soaked Battlefields of Hollywood, a survival guide against the cynicism and the hypocritical series of books, links below. Remember, preparation is the key to you and your project's success. Ready?